Terence Crawford is fighting Errol Spence Jr. on July 29th, and it's looking to be one of the biggest fights of the year. With preparations happening on both sides, Spence reacted to Crawford's training. Terence knows that he's working uphill when it comes to fans' expectations, but he says that he's used to that. I've been the underdog my whole career. Coming into this fight, I feel as if a lot of people are writing me off, saying, well, Errol's bigger, Errol's stronger, he's more technical, his jab is better, he's better defensive, he could take a punch better. I'm just sitting here licking my chops because I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. Spence wants to make sure people know he isn't that worried, and he has different plans when he's done fighting Crawford. Spence stated, "There have been fighters way more gifted than Terence who've lost in boxing. They can say what they want about him, but I know my capabilities. I know my mindset when I step into the ring. I believe that I can beat any fighter." Then Spence posted that he has plans to move up after finishing Crawford. Terence knows exactly when he realized that he had to fight Spence next. Crawford stated, "Spence has been on my mind the very moment I moved up into the division. The fans and the media weren't calling for Shawn Porter to fight Terence Crawford when Shawn Porter had a title. The fans weren't calling for Yordenis Ugas to fight Terence Crawford when he had a title. They were saying, oh, fight Errol. Errol could have easily moved up to 154 and said, man, I'm not fighting that dude. I commend him for staying at 147 and doing what he said he was going to do, and that's fight Terence Crawford, and I respect him for that." Apparently, Spence was getting pushed to take another fight before Crawford, but he didn't want to risk any issues. Spence stated, "They wanted me to get another fight. I didn't want to risk an injury, a cut, anything could happen. I just decided to sit in the house, chill, and just wait on the Terence fight, or find out if the fight wasn't happening and then take another fight. I was willing to sacrifice a payday and another win to wait on Terence. I know the magnitude of this fight and what this means for our legacy. I was willing to wait. Keith Thurman wasn't. I didn't want to just go out and fight somebody. I put the ego to the side and got the fight done." Errol Spence isn't buying any of Terence's talk though, and he stands by the fact that he thinks he'll have no problem taking on Crawford.
"I will be the first male boxer to actually capture the welterweight champion in 2 divisions, and that would solidify me as the greatest fighter of this era."
Definitely not, man. I'm not gonna lie, Tyron got the best matchmakers in the business. You ain't fought nobody, man. You haven't beat anybody undisputed at 140. Who you fought at 135? And who you fought at 147? Even you fought Shawn Porter. Even Shawn Porter said,
"What did I do to Shawn Porter that you couldn't
Shawn
do?"
Porter said he did not train like he should. He didn't do the things that his daddy told him to do. What are you talking about? Even his daddy said it. Even his daddy said it.
You butthurt that I got the
Even his daddy said it.
You butthurt.
Even Kell Brook, he was already broken.
So was he broken when you fought him?
Spence thinks he'll end up doing the same thing with Crawford that he's done in the past with other opponents. Spence stated, "I'm gonna do the same thing I always do. Basically, punish my opponent. It's gonna be entertaining. Hopefully, he comes with his A+ game. I come with my A+ game. We're both gonna put on a great performance. It's gonna be one for the books." Trainer Derek James seems to think that the winner of this fight will come down to one aspect. James stated, "It's gonna come down to fortitude." Spence faced a lot of things that shows he has the mental fortitude, that mental toughness, and I think that's gonna play a big role in Errol becoming the undisputed champ of the world. He said that I'll get these belts over here. Regardless of the detached retina, he was able to unify the champ, have 3 belts, and all he needs is 1 more. Jerome Ennis thinks that he knows who has the upper hand in the upcoming fight.
That's a good fight, 50-50 fight. Honestly, it's gonna come down who in the best shape and who hungrier. I don't know who gonna win, but I think I'm leaning a little bit more towards towards Spence. I feel like Spence got something to prove, and I feel like a lot of people like doubting him a little bit. But like I said before, you don't know until fight night. May the best man win. Hopefully we get that winner.
When getting to that level, is it like the little things that put you, over the edge to get the W?
Errol Spence sees this fight as just the thing that boxing needs, and it always had to be between 2 old school fighters. Spence stated, "This fight does a lot for the sport of boxing. I hope a lot of the best fighters are ready to face each other. This is an old school fight with the two best fighters in the world. It's rare that you get that. We're two old school fighters who are going to go in there and give it their all. This fight boils down to grit, determination, and focus. It's about whose body and mind can withstand the most punishment, but also make it through different highs and lows of the fight. Whoever can impose their style on their opponent will win the fight." While there's no denying that this fight is huge, Spence and Crawford believe that the fight could be bigger if they handled things differently. Spence stated, "It probably would be a bigger fight if we were talking trash, cursing each other out, talking about each other's mothers and fathers, and saying crazy stuff to each other. It would be a lot bigger. That's what sells, especially in these times. That's what sells. People love to see controversy. They love to see you acting like an ass. Since they're not getting that, it probably won't be as big. More people would be drawn to it if I get on stage and throw a punch at him or try and slap him or something crazy. That'd be all over social media and cause a frenzy." Crawford believes that this fight is only known to big fight fans. He stated, "Die-hard boxing fans all know about the fight, but if I go to my next-door neighbor's grandma's house, is she gonna know who I am?" Calvin Ford believes that he knows who has the upper hand.
Spence, Crawford, who wins?
That's one I'm going to leave away. I told you that's a coach's dream right there. You get what I'm saying? Because like I said again, Spence is the bigger guy. He's been in that weight class for a long period of time. The question I ask people, throughout both of their career, which one been hurt in their career since they've been fighting? And then we'll know who the winner.
Okay.
That's the answer.
Amir Khan thinks that Terence Crawford is too much for Spence. Khan stated, "I've got Terence winning that fight unanimously, not by stoppage, because Spence is a tough and tricky fighter. He just breaks down a fight so easily, does Crawford. I remember even with the speed I had and throwing combinations, he was making me miss by inches. Then he'd lean back and catch me every time. He's so precise and his timing is on point. He's probably one of the best fighters I've ever seen. He reminds me a bit of Andre Ward." Carl Froch believes that Crawford will definitely be the winner, but he thinks that it's going to be much closer than others think. Carl stated, "I like the older, wiser Terence Crawford. Errol Spence is a fantastic talent, a great fighter. Crawford is as well, but he's just a bit older and a bit wiser, and when he needs to, he can step it up a level. He's a bit similar to Alexander Usyk in the heavyweights. If he has a big round, he then just steps on the gas. I think Crawford has that slight extra gear and is that little bit more special, so I'd say Crawford beats Spence, but it really is a 51-49% fight, nothing in it. It's one I'm really looking forward to." Adrian Broner believes that this fight is going to be an epic chess match.
Spence and Bud Crawford have agreed to fight. How do you see that fight playing out in the ring?
It's gonna be a crazy chess match, but a war. They're gonna fight. They're gonna fight to death. They're gonna fight the shit out of each other, and it's crazy because I got personal relationships with both of them. But of course, I'm closer to Errol. Even though me and Terrence, we close as shit too, and his whole team, my whole team love their whole team. Like, it's a fight that boxing need. It's a fight that both of them need, and I really see a trilogy in this whole thing with them.
Wow.
I honestly can see a trilogy, and both of them guys retiring.
Wow. How about that?
Oscar De La Hoya doesn't think that Spence will be able to catch Crawford. Oscar stated, "Spence, don't get me wrong, he's a great fighter. I mean, we built him. Golden Boy built him. Spence has a tremendous shot at knocking him out, if he catches him." Shakur Stevenson definitely sees a knockout coming though. Shakur stated, "I think I'll be leaning more toward a knockout. I think with both of them fighters, both of them dudes, they're thoroughbreds. They're gonna want to fight. I feel like, honestly, no matter how you picture the fight going, or going to the elite level, I think both of them are itching to punch each other, so it's like fire against fire in there." Terence Crawford has been training to take Spence on, and he's looking better than ever. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.